Okay, so continuing on the illustration of the RoadRunner tribute, now part 2. Haven't quite finished yet. Probably a few more hours on it to get it to the level that I'm trying to achieve. When returning to the image, I noticed that the composition was a bit claustrophobic, so I just reduced the size of the characters and I've shrunk them down, and also considering a division of thirds composition. So an easy way to check that is using the crop tool, and I'm trying to place the main elements, that being Coyote and RoadRunner, on the intersecting points of the division of thirds. If you want to know more about that, you can just quickly check it out. It's a composition very often used in photography. Just Google it. So using lasso selections a lot. You can also use the pen tool, but I like using lasso. It just saves me having to do the work path stuff. And if you're not too keen on the hard edges, you can always just smudge the edges, as you saw me do with the smoke. So you can see the references helped inspire my ideas a lot more. I collected some reference of the Arizona desert. It's like a really beautiful place. I believe it's the same desert that inspired the RoadRunner cartoon. So just blocking in some cactus, again using the lasso tool, or cacti. So the considerations is, of course, to differentiate the different materials. That being, Coyote is furry, the robot or this machine is metal, RoadRunner is feathered. Also collected some reference for Coyote, as you saw me pull up there, and it helps really think of some realism, and also helped me figure out the ears and all that. So reference isn't cheating. It can be a crutch, but you've just got to know how to use it effectively. And I find one way to not get too caught up on the reference is just to glance at it quickly. Try to keep a bit of a visual snapshot in my mind, and then take that information into the image. And knowing what I'm trying to look for first when I look at the image, so I may have a question about what color is the fur in light or something like that, or what does a coyote's eyes look like. So ask the question first and then quickly check the reference to find those things out, rather than asking questions while I'm looking at the reference, if that makes sense. So in regards to materials, I'm considering the reflected light again, that being the reflection of the sky on the metal. And you can see the lasso tool is really good for this tech stuff, since it's a lot of hard edges, hard surfaces. And you can think of edges as being containers for the volume, just as, a water bottle is a container for water. The volume within that is contained by the edge. So yeah, with edges there are a lot of variables. Different materials are going to have different qualities, different edge quality, which can also be affected by things such as if the object's in the distance, if it's in the foreground, is it in the focal area, is it out of the focal area, is it in motion, you know, things that in motion generally going to be a bit blurred, all these different things, and it really just comes down to observation, checking, doing still lifes or looking at photos, although photos can be affected by shutter speed and all that. But for instance, one good way to think about edges is if you just look at your hand and you focus on your index finger, the rest of your hand is going to be blurry or slightly more blurred, while your index finger is sharp, and also the things in the background that you're not focusing on while you're focused on your index finger are going to be blurry, so you can consider those things. So as I said, things in the background are generally going to be a softer edge. It really just comes down to practice, and often an artist, the way an artist treats their edges can heavily influence their style and influence how you recognize their work. Yeah, it was a lot of fun using the lasso tool. I think I'll use it more now. It helps to keep everything clean and contained. Also really beneficial, as you can see I've got things on many layers, so that keeps things organised. So yeah, check out the next one. I should paint it tomorrow and get the video done on Saturday. So thanks for watching.